There's a lot of candies on here. What the fuck is the toothbrush doing on here? Do people give out toothbrushes on Halloween? That doesn't happen, right? I don't know why Hershey's Cookies and Cream is first, and then Hershey's is over here. Hershey's Cookies and Cream for me is trading material. I know a lot of people like it, but I don't know. It's kind of gross. I'm not a huge like white chocolate fan. Texture's a little gross. You haven't had 90% of these because you're in Europe. I'll try and describe them. This is like a white chocolate with like a crunch to it and like some like, I don't know, cookie bits. I don't know. It sounds better than it is. It's pretty bad. I don't think you guys have Reese's over in Europe either. These are like chocolate peanut butter cups. So like the outside is chocolate and the inside is peanut butter. You hate white and dark chocolate. I'm with you. Milk chocolate all the way. Milk chocolate all the way. You've had sweet Reese's before. I think most people would put them in bangin'. I'm not as big of a peanut butter fan as everybody else, but they are pretty good. They're like pretty good. They're not as good as everybody says. The chocolate's pretty low quality, but you know, chocolate and peanut butter is a good combination. There's a nice texture overall, good flavor. Yeah, you could definitely overdo it. I feel like I can eat like maybe one, maybe two at a time for these. Kit Kat. Have you had a Kit Kat before? These are like wafer bars, so like kind of like a Maltesers, but like a bar. Do you have Maltesers there? It's a Cadbury product. Kind of, yeah, like a wafer thing. But the chocolate is really, really bad. The texture is nice, and then you like break them. It's like a pretty satisfying break. I will say that part of the candy is fun, but like I think American chocolate is much more waxy. And so I'd really like to try a Kit Kat bar that is like cocoa, there's probably like some high fructose corn syrup injected into these and this waxy fake chocolate. I don't know. That's a trade for me. 100-gram bar. I might be getting this one mixed up. There was one that it was either Take 5 or 100-gram bar that I thought was good. And then I ate it and I was like, this wasn't as good as I remembered it. Let me see the description. These are so rare and I can't remember how good they are. Chocolate, caramel, and crisp rice. This is not I'm thinking of Paydays. Paydays I thought were pretty solid and they're not as good. 100-gram bars are kind of banging. Caramel. There's a crispiness to it. Pretty decent chocolate. I like him. Reese's Pieces. I'm not gonna say they're poo tier, but they're like at the bottom of trades for me. I kind of hate Reese's Pieces. They taste bad. They taste bad. They good, but I don't like how sticky and long the caramel goes. I kind of like sticky caramel. When I bite into something, I want it to be sticky. Man, as I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't like many candies. I'm pretty picky. There's ones that I really like. There's a lot of them that I just don't care for. Sweet tarts. Man, they're not good either. I think they're close to poo tier. They're kind of with the Reese's Pieces right there. They're just kind of chalky, sweet, too sweet. They're just not that great. Three Musketeers is good though. I usually get a Milky Way instead or a Mars bar. I'm a Mars bar kind of guy, and I feel like Three Musketeers is a worse Mars bar if I remember what it's got in here. I just typed in Three Musketeers, like that would be the first thing that pops up. Three Musketeers is a candy bar made in the United States. It's made by Mars Bar. Okay. Consisting of chocolate-covered fluffy whipped nougat. It is similar to the global Milky Way bar as well as the American version of the Milky Way bar. Yeah, I'd say it's like a worse Mars bar kind of thing going on here. But Mars bars are so good that I think that still lands it in the pretty good area. Is there not Mars bars on here? I guess like Halloween's more of an American tradition. It's becoming more popular elsewhere. But that makes sense why they would all be American candies. Pixie sticks. Why? Why are we doing pixie sticks? That's poo tier. That's just like putting sugar straight into your throat. It's gross. It's pretty gross. Why is there an apple there? I don't know, man. I don't think I'm gonna count anything that isn't. I guess I'll put this stuff that's just not candy in the poo tier. Not because apples are poo tier. Apples are actually great, and I love apples. But like as a kid, like I would say a swear word if somebody put some fruit up in my bag. You know, that's not what today's about. Let's just put everything that isn't candy in the poo tier, just on the spirit of what my reaction would be as a child to that being put into my pillowcase. Yeah. Yeah, like today as an adult, I'd actually probably want an apple almost over all of this. But like, I gotta keep it true to the spirit of Halloween. And like, there's just something wrong about receiving fruit on Halloween. Now, if this is like a caramel apple, that kind of sucks because like if you put it in the bag, it's gonna get all sticky. But like, I guess you could hold it and carry it around. That would actually be pretty dope if somebody was handing out caramel apples. Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good. Airheads. Man, Airheads deserves the poo tier treatment. But for me, personally, I don't know what it is, but Airheads is one of those exceptions where it's like, I kind of like it. It's trash. It's garbage. It's no better than Pixie Sticks, honestly. But I think I gotta bump it up to pretty good for me, but like the bottom of pretty good, because I don't trade them away. I actually eat them, but it feels wrong to put them on the same tier as Reese's and Three Musketeers. I'll put them at the top of trades. Like I will trade them for better stuff, but like I like them more than I should. What are these again? Bit-o honey? These are disgusting. These are poo tier. Those are just gross. Those are just nasty. Nobody's gonna be trading for that. Nobody wants that. You know, same thing with Nestle Crunch. I think Crunch is like terrible. I think Crunch Bar is like one of the worst chocolate bars out there. It's probably trade tier. Yeah, now it's probably like the same as Reese's Pieces, but it's pretty bad. It's just like so boring. Like all it has is texture, and the texture is actually not that great. And the flavor is just the most boring chocolate, like waxy milk chocolate you've ever had. There's nothing to be desired. There's a lot left to be desired with a Crunch Bar. Necco, Dude, I think I ate these once when I was a child and was like, I can't do this again, ever. I don't remember what these are, but let me take a look before I judge them. Just looking at them, I'm like, that looks like some old man kind of candy right there. Yeah, these are disgusting. These are poo tier all the way. These are made in 1847, and when you open them, trust me, you taste all 2 centuries that have passed by. They're like dusty, man. They keep that 1847 stuff, and they've just been packaging that for centuries. You know, I'm gonna put Pixie Sticks over Bit of Honey and Necco, because at least it's not gross, you know? They're legit just filled with oxygen, yeah. Ooh, Sour Patch Kids. Goated. I mean, I don't know if they're the sex. I'll put them in bangin'. As far as fruit gummies go, I don't think it gets much better here. I'm looking around to see if there's a better fruit gummy on the list, and I'm not seeing anything. I think that's pretty much the ceiling for some of the fruit gummies, for sure. For sure. Nice texture. They kind of remind me of like fruit pastilles. Fruit pastilles would be the sex plus. Like they'd be 2 tiers above this, but like these are like the best American version of that, I guess. They're like kind of a harder texture for gummies, and they got like a nice like sweetness and tartness to them, not overly sweet. Yeah, they're pretty good, pretty banging. Rainbow Nerds, man, nerds are poo tier. Nerds are really poo tier. I just don't get it. Nerds Rope is like kind of an interesting experience, and I kind of like that, honestly, because it kind of mixes well with that. But like just regular Nerds in a box is kind of really gross. Same thing with Good and Plenty. Those are actually ass. Those are actually poo tier. I think I'm putting them like here. I haven't really been ordering these. I think I've been ordering the poo tier more strictly than these. But yeah. The Twizzlers, they're actually, I've grown to appreciate Twizzlers over the years. They have a great texture. They just have 0 flavor. I feel like if we had licorice that actually was flavorful, like Twizzlers would be so banging. But then they do like the, what is the Twizzlers, the colorful ones with all the different colors, the Twizzler matchups. They're better, but they just like taste too artificial. What are the requalifications for the sex tier? Like I'd probably take it over the over sex. If you offered me that candy or sex, I'd probably take the candy. Okay, I know I have a terrible take on this candy. Dots are actually poo tier, but for me they're pretty good, and it's just I don't know what it is. They're terrible, dude, but like I get dots with them. I did this when I would get high a lot back in the day. Is I'd get a box of dots and I'd get like a Monster coffee, and for whatever reason like the gummy and the coffee flavor like just kind of like mixed really well. And I'll still do that to today, but like it's so much sugar, so that's like a special occasion kind of treat. But I used to do that like once a week. Like honestly, for me, I'd probably put dots in pretty good, but I can't justify putting that over trades. I can't have that in the same tier as Three Musketeers and Reese's. You know, I'm realizing there's so much more bad candies than there are good ones. You know? Okay, M&M's. I'm gonna put these in bangin'. They're very, very close to the sex. M&M's are slap. As far as American chocolate goes, M&M's is like peak. There's one in here, I believe, that is gonna take S tier for me. And M&M's is like just underneath it. It's very, very good. Yeah. You think nerds are underrated? I don't know about that. They kind of taste like dust. Dusty chocolate. These are the dusty candies down here. It's because people don't pick them long enough, so they accumulate dust. From Good and Plenty's to Rainbow Nerds. Don't tell me you put those in your mouth and there's a non-zero amount of dust in there. Gum? Okay, what do I do here? Because gum is actually kind of great compared to these candies. But like, I feel like it's against the spirit, right? A little bit. I feel like it's cheating. It's not candy, right? You don't actually swallow it. It's just something to chew on. Like, it's better than these, but I think I'm gonna put it like down here. Just for like, it's just not candy. Just like cracking in your mouth. Andy's mints. These are some old people stuff right here. These are gross. These are disgusting. They're just like these mint chocolates. I like mint chocolate, but Andy's is not the one. I like mint chocolate ice cream. Like a good mint chocolate ice cream. There's so many that are terrible. And so like chemically. But like a good mint chocolate chip ice cream is actually great, but Andy's is just the worst. I think I put them over Nerds. Put it under toothbrush. I'll put it on the toothbrush. That way you can put the mint on the toothbrush, and there you go. You're cavity free. No, it's better than Nerds, Pixie Sticks, Bit of Honey. It's better than those, but not by much. Oh my god, there's so many bad ones. Runts! Wonka Runts are garbage. I feel like they're exactly the same as Nerds, and even a little bit worse. Like, the flavor's worse. Like, I don't know how they made it somewhat worse than, like, just plain sugar, but they did. It's like the texture of Nerds in fun shapes and the flavor of Good and Plenty's. I don't know why anybody gets Runts. Now, okay, some banana Runts. There is one exception. The banana Runts are actually kind of good. So I think that bumps it up. But like, that's the only one I'll eat is the banana one. That's the only one that's good. I think like it has one redeeming quality to it. So I'm going to put it in the top of poo above Andy's. But like that redeeming factor, you only got like 6 bananas in the whole box. Like, I don't know. Runts suck. There's so many poo tier candies, man. I used to eat all, I did not discriminate as a child. Now I'm picky. Now I'm like, if I'm gonna buy something, it's gonna be banging it up. I don't even really buy our Three Musketeers or a Reese's anymore. I might get a Reese's. But like, there's just so much garbage out there. Andy's are goat, you're gross. Catch these hands, say it again. Laffy Taffy. Okay, Laffy Taffy's got two frustrations. One, it sucks as a candy, okay? Like, it's just, Taffy's just gross. Secondly, you can, like, 1 out of 3 of these things you don't even get to eat because, like, the packaging is, like, stuck to the taffy so much. So it's either, like, just bite into it and get a little package with your food or with your candy, or... or it's just like, you just throw it away. So, like, I feel like Laffy Taffy sucks in so many ways. My list is great. This is actually so objectively correct. This is based on nothing but empirical data and facts. Okay? If you disagree with me, you're basically disagreeing with the order of the universe. Jesus agrees with me on this. I'm just saying. Laffy Taffy. Werther Originals. Oh my god, this is some old man. Like, why is candy the old man's thing? Like, this is a holiday for kids, but the old people candies are. There's just so many of them. There's just so many of them. Yeah, it's going in poo tier. I'm debating whether it's like close here. It's definitely better than these by a little bit. Thank you, Overkill. Yes, Jenna is scientifically wrong. I swear to God, if you rank candy corn anything under pretty good, I'm coming into your office and fighting you. What are these little boys here? Anybody know what these are? Are these like the little fruit flavored chocolate things? I like fruit flavored chocolate, but I think I remember these being pretty gross. Like these ones specifically. Like Quality Street is fantastic. But these boys, not so much. Yeah, these are grandparents' version of strawberry chocolates. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're just they're dusty, you know? Hershey's Kisses. Okay, we were in a long drought of good candy. My God, that was terrible. Holy moly, they just put all the bad ones back to back to back. We've been in the poo tier for days. Hershey's Kisses are pretty good. It kind of sucks because, you know, if they give you like a Hershey's Kiss, if they give you one Hershey's Kiss, fuck them, right? Like, they're bad people. But like, they're good. They're better quality than everything below them by a significant margin. So like, they should be giving you a small handful of these, and that's the only reason it's in pretty good. This is like a good quality as far as American chocolate goes. Good quality chocolate. Licorice is, yeah, I like licorice. Twizzlers I do not like. Twizzlers is like the flavor, it's like all texture, no flavor. Good to see you, Magma. Thank you for the lurk. Now Hershey's bar, I think that goes with M&Ms. I think like side by side, those are about the same for me. The only difference between the Kisses and the bar, I think, is, I want to say just the amount you get, right? If you're getting a whole chocolate bar, you're pretty happy. Hershey's milk chocolate is pretty good. Pretty banging, actually. Better than pretty good. Yeah, I'm never upset to see one of these. I'm always pretty happy. Like, I'll buy one of these at the store every once in a while. I'll be like, I just want, a good, solid chocolate bar. There's usually better options. But if I just want chocolate, no bells and whistles, I want simplicity. Hershey's not bad. Hershey's not bad. Mike and Ike's. Again, like, I think this is trade quality, but I'm gonna bump it up a tier for my own enjoyment of that. The texture's so bad. The flavor's actually pretty good for these, but the texture really holds it back. They're just like really hard, and like they kind of like turn into just like this almost like dissolved sugar in your mouth. I think I'm gonna give it the dots treatment where it really doesn't deserve to be up here, but I'm gonna bump it up a whole tier because I like them, but I know they're bad. Be a little unfair here. This is my empirically backed factual list with 0 flaws, and my opinions are better than yours, so I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna put it in pretty good. Snickers, let's go. Our first entrance into the sex. Snickers is just, it's just the best. It's just a solid chocolate bar. No flaws. Not too many bells and whistles. They don't go over the top. But a little extra something, make it special, unique. You got nuts, you got caramel, you got a good chocolate. Yeah, Snickers is just a W bar. Peak. This is peak. For sure. For sure. Almond Joy. Do you like coconut and nuts in your chocolate? Actually, nuts are fine. It's the coconut. Coconut sucks. Coconut ruins good chocolates. Yeah, like coconut cake is probably the worst, like my least favorite thing in this world. It's like, man, that looks great. Can we take all this garbage off of it though? It just like ruins everything. Almond Joys suck. I feel like they're at like, if I was just to evaluate this fairly against like an Andes, right? I'd take an Almond Joy for trade tier. But like, it's the fact that it could be good. Like the rest of it's good and it's just being ruined by coconut. That makes me like extra angry. Jenna, you are so wrong on so many things, okay? You are not agreeing with the empirically correct facts that I am putting out here. Baby Ruth. It's been a while since I've had a Baby Ruth. I think Baby Ruths are pretty good. Let me look at a description of these. I have probably one every year or two. I actually don't eat that much candy. Yeah, it's dry roasted peanuts, rich caramel, and smooth nougat. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think Baby Ruths are actually pretty banging. Pretty banging. I put them at like the 100 grand bar tier. Yo, what up, Erilyn? How you doing? I think Baby Ruths is like worse than Snickers, but like pretty good still. It's like the worst version of a Snickers. Caramel apple pops. What the fuck are these monstrosities? I think I've eaten one of these in my 28 years. And there's a reason I've only eaten one. They're just too sticky. Ugh, those are gross. I don't like lollipops in general. Yeah, I'm with you. 100 grams are great. Yeah, you know what? I think it's probably here for me, above the Baby Ruth. I'll even put the Baby Ruth a little lower, separate those a little bit. But yeah, caramel apple pops. I just remember these being really sticky and gross. Jenna, you're so wrong on everything. Charleston Chews. We're back to the poo tier, boys. This is what my grandpa literally loves. My grandpa loved Charleston Chews. Rest in peace, Grandpa. But you did not like good chocolate. Like, again, like, this is like the Neckos. It's like these were made in 1847, and they've just been packaging those 1847 candies and selling them to us 180 years later. Like, you can't tell me that when I bite into one of these that they have been made in this century. Like, there's no way. Mr. Good Bar. This is another chocolate bar that I think I have about once every 2 years. And I think it's like a crunch bar, if I remember correctly. But it's more like nut stuff. Looks like it's been bought by Hershey's. I feel like it's a better crunch bar. I feel like the chocolate's better quality. And then, like, instead of the crunch being artificial, you actually got like nuts in there. So is Mr. Goodbar pretty good or trades? I'm gonna trust you guys on this one. It's not remarkable enough to be banging. Probably a tier above crunch. That seems good. It's serviceable. Yeah, I'd say most of this stuff is serviceable. Yeah, no, I agree, Jenna. Reese's does deserve to be higher. I just am not a huge peanut butter fan. And as we've said already, I am objectively correct. So, yes, based off of everybody else's opinions, Reese's deserves banging, if not the sex. But, the universe bends to my will. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Too much peanut butter. Like, I feel like it was a little less peanut butter. Like, the combination of chocolate and peanut butter is right. They got that right. Like, I don't like peanut butter, but I will enjoy a Reese's because that combination is so strong. It's just like, it's like a little too much. Sounds like a skill issue. I'm just imagining myself unskillfully eating a chocolate bar. Double Bubble. Ooh. This is another one of those old candies that you cannot tell me has been made in this century. Like, literally, I've been joking about the dust, but there is literally dust on these things. Like, you can taste the dust. Dusty candy. I feel like we need a new tier. I'm gonna create 2 tiers, because the poo tier is just, like, too much. There's just too many things, and I feel like there are some distinctions to be made now. Alright, we got Actually Dusty. And then I'm gonna say anything that like goes against the spirit of Halloween. Like I was saying at the beginning of this, I'd prefer an apple to most of the things on this list, but like it's just not right to give a child an apple on Halloween. That's just wrong. So yeah, we'll go like that. And then Actually Dusty is gonna be Bit of Honey, Necco, Charleston Chew. I gotta move these down. These do not deserve to be. These probably are at the bottom with Good and Plenty's. Double Bubble. That's like the most dusty, right? Maybe with Charleston Chews. Jenna is an old soul. My God, Jenna, come on now. This is cap. This can't be real. Your tastes can't be this bad. Swedish fish are really good. I like Swedish fish. As far as fruit gummies go, pretty good. Like, this is a candy I'll actually buy and eat. Where are the Twix at? We're getting to the Twix. Where are the Twix? They're down here. Good to see you, Switty Keith. You could argue banging for the fish. Yeah, you know what? I'm with you. Because I think between the Sour Patch Kids and the fish, I think they're about even for me. I probably eat them about equally. Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. Yeah, it's not the same tier as Three Musketeers, Mike and Ike, Mr. Goodbar. It's definitely a tier above those. Yeah. They're also not too sweet, which I really like. They got a unique flavor. They're fish-shaped. They're fun, you know? Blow Pops. Jenna loves these. So you guys know where they're going. It's like you have a lollipop with already chewed gum. Like somebody pre-chewed that gum. Like stuck it under a table for like 50 years and then just put it on top of the stick as they made the lollipop. The gum is flavorless. It's already been chewed. It's 50 years old, and the lollipop also sucks. I don't know. Can you guys hear Jenna screaming from the other room? Fireball. These are unique. I feel like this atomic fireballs are unique. I could see somebody, if you don't like cinnamon flavor, putting these in poo tier, right? Like if you don't like cinnamon flavor, these are gonna be pretty bad, but I kind of like these. They're like actually like pretty spicy. They're kind of an experience. I don't love the texture. It's pretty trash texture, but like it's an experience with just how spicy these are. And it is an intense cinnamon flavor. Yeah, your grandma melts fireballs in applesauce. Is that awesome or is that gross? Because that actually sounds like that might be awesome. Yeah, these are painful. These are painful. Tootsie Rolls, the flavored kind. I think Jenna likes these as well. These are gross. You know, I think they're probably the top here. I think these are probably the top of poo tier, but definitely poo tier. The texture's gross. The flavor's gross. The regular Tootsie Roll's not great, and these are worse than those, so by a significant amount. Actually, no, they're not. They're just as bad. I think Tootsie Rolls actually suck. Tootsie Rolls are so bad. They're so gross. You think regular Tootsie... You know what? Now, I think I had that in reverse. I remembered, like, I had to remember the flavor of the Tootsie Roll. And then I remembered how much worse the regular Tootsie Roll, like that aftertaste, that gross aftertaste, and just the whole experience of chewing it. I think that this might be a tier above them. And I do think it might be a significant margin above these, enough to cross the line. Yes, like Sweet Tarts tier seems good. They're almost poo tier, but like they are better. No, you're right. I forgot how bad these were. Yeah, I think that's where Tootsie Roll belongs. Fun Dip. Garbage. Absolute garbage. This is just Pixie Sticks, but grosser. Somehow. Because you're like licking something and your own spit is supposed to make the sugar stick to your spitty stick. And then you lick that some more. And then you dip it in some more Pixie Sticks dust. That's disgusting. That's just gross. Tootsie Rolls being good is not a hill you're willing to die on. Yeah, I mean, Tootsie Pops, I feel like they're better than Tootsie Rolls because you're not eating the Tootsie Roll part for part of it. No, these are Blow Pop tier. These might be worse than Blow Pops. Just off of like the idea of like you put chocolate in the middle of a lollipop. They're better than Caramel Apple Pops. They're the same as Blow Pops for me. They're gross. I'm pretty sure you hate fun. Can you listen to my very accurate description of what Fun Dips are and then argue with me that that's fun and not disgusting? Fruit roll-ups. Fruit roll-ups. Like, these do belong in poo tier, I'm not gonna lie. But they're a guilty pleasure of mine. They're just like, they're so unique and fun. Texture-wise, actually pretty good. I'd say texture-wise, these are great. I wish it had like a less sweet artificial flavor to them. Like if I could get the texture of this with like a subtler, less chemical flavor, I think fruit roll-ups would actually be pretty banging. Fun Dip should be in dust. Yeah, actually like Pixie Sticks and Fun Dip, like just for the principle that they are actually just dust. I'm okay with that. Gushers, on the other hand, man, Gushers, the memory I have of Gushers as a child versus the actual experience of Gushers, it breaks my heart every time I eat a Gushers. They're so gross. They're so disgusting. The flavor's bad, the texture's gross, the liquid's bad, but as a kid I used to love these. But they're not good. They're very much not good. What are you saying? Dust is bad? Love me some Skin Flake candy. That's cursed. We can get a permanent ban on Sweaty Keith there. For that one. Yeah. I mean, I think just over the Pops. Maybe over Nerds. They're like Runts Taffy level, I think. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? You remember Gushers being amazing, but I got them 2 months ago at the store and they were disgusting? You're unprepared? Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like I loved Gushers as a child. But like I got some for like the first time like last year in like a while and I was like so excited. I was like, I'm gonna relive my childhood. I think I ate like 2 of them and then threw the whole box away because I was just like, this is gross. Another one that like has like a different memory to what they are in my brain is Haribo gummy bears. Like in my brain these are actually banging, but in actuality they're trades. They are top of trades. They are top of trades. The texture's just a little too hard and the flavor's just not really there. There's better gummy bears by far. I do like Haribo, like the Coca-Colas. Those are actually really interesting. Those are kind of unique, and like if I want that, that's the only way I can get that. Like the sour Coca-Colas are actually pretty good. What were those hexagonal cheese cracker bites that were good? Grips? I think you're right. They like the idea was you could like throw them and catch them in your mouth. Like you couldn't do that with any other snack. That was their advertisement, that you could like chuck them in the air and catch them in your mouth. You think Hershey Kisses are trash tier? They're the same as the Hershey's milk chocolate, right? Like they're just in a different shape, right? I could be misremembering. I haven't had a Hershey's Kisses in forever, but I thought it was the same as the chocolate bar, just like different shape. I mean, look at the things it's competing with here. I mean, were there originals? I didn't even know that. I think these are the hard candies and these are the soft candies. It doesn't matter. They're both old man candy. Heath Bar by itself, pretty good. I'd say like Mr. Good Bar level. Heath Bar on like ice cream or like a milkshake is actually, I'd like put it like top of banging. Like this is a good chocolate if you want to add it to some ice cream, but like by itself, it's unique, it's good. But yeah, it really needs some help, I'd say, to get the most out of a Heath Bar. I should buy all these candies, taste them live, and then re-rank. That would be fun. That would be fun. I'll go like, I don't have money for this, so I'll just like go and like steal a kid's pillow sack while in a few weeks, and we'll reevaluate. I'll go like pay a child to go out there for me. Yeah, Jenna, do you love Werther's? What's your opinion on Werther's? Okay, Butterfinger. Hear me out. I hate the texture of Butterfinger. I hate the texture of Butterfinger so much. It feels so bad on my teeth. And the flavor is way too strong. But again, kind of like the Heath Bar, if you put it in ice cream, it's actually really good. I should just ask Jenna her opinion of these things and then put them in the reverse spot. Like, you gotta pull the car over if you're eating Werther's Original. That is a full activity. Yeah, I could probably get like I go to Walgreens and get like a big mixed bag, and it'll probably have most of this stuff in there. I get a little bucket and spit. Like I'm wine tasting. That reminds me, one sec. Hold the fuck on, you put Andy's Mince and Poo tier. I'm leaving, I can't. That's stuff you should brush your teeth with.
Mario, this pie needs work. Good consistency on the crust, but the cheese to sauce ratio, it's a travesty.
Do you have to spit?
In a word, yes. Amateurs go tasting, they fill up, and they lose their palate by the third slice. I take this very seriously.
Hot tamales. Again, like, I like the cinnamon flavor a lot. I'm a cinnamon fanatic. I can't justifiably put them any higher than pretty good. But man, I love like putting like 10 of these in my mouth at a time and like just like having a time of my life. You know, the texture is better than the Atomic Fireball. Like, it's not gonna break your teeth. It might clog up your gums a little bit, but you know, it's not great. The texture's not great. You don't like hot tamales? Man, maybe this is nostalgia for me, but like hot tamales was the candy I ate. Like that was the candy I got at the gas station when I was like 10 every time. So like maybe like I built up some nostalgia for them, and I kind of like them. I think I really like the cinnamon flavor. I really like just like putting a bunch of them in my mouth at once until I can't feel anything anymore, you know? You know, like that was 10-year-old Garrison's version of alcohol, you know, take away the pain. Overload the senses one time. Man, we are back in the trenches over here. Okay, I will say Lemonhead. I remember as a child actually really liking these, but I haven't tried them in a long time. I feel like if my memory serves correct, adult version of me is gonna put this in poo tier. I think it's a step above Tootsie Roll. I think it's like probably there with sweet tarts and flavored Tootsie Rolls. I'm gonna bump the Butterfinger up a little bit. It's a little bit better than a lot of these. I'm also gonna bump this one up a bit. Kit Kat's probably near the top of this list too. They're all pretty bad, but I can't put the Atomic Fireball much higher than Lemonheads. Yeah, I feel like they're just enough better than this stuff, like Runts. Like, I feel like Lemonhead is a full step ahead Runts, you know? Or below Pops. Good and plenties. But definitely, like, near. Close. Close relative. Jolly Ranchers are garbage. It's the flavor's not bad. Flavor's not bad. It's just too damn sticky. Man, you need a dentist to pry open your teeth. You get the crowbar out after you eat too many of these. Man, like, have you ever had that Jolly Rancher, like, where you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna open my jaw again. Maybe this is my life now. You know? You would put them next to Sweet Tarts. They have a better flavor than Sweet Tarts. I'm just, like, I'm remembering the stickiness, and it's just not worth it. Like, at least with Sweet Tarts, like, I bite on it, but there's no, like, real, you know, it's not a bad experience. There's nothing crazy negative about it. Jolly Ranchers, I regret eating those almost immediately. The payoff is too little for the amount of pain they can put you in. And it's variable, too. You can eat, like, 2 Jolly Ranchers and, like, they catch you off guard, and you're like, these aren't too bad, you know? You get some of the ones that don't have as much stick in them. But then you get that one Jolly Rancher, you know, when you're opening up that wrapper, it takes a little more effort to pull it apart, and you gotta, like, tear off the plastic. You know that one's gonna be a denture glue, you know? That's gonna be some Gorilla Glue for the teeth. You know you're gonna have to skip lunch after that one. Same with Sweet Tarts. Their flavor is good, but I can't eat very many of them. Jenna loves Jolly Ranchers. Of course she does. I just feel like the punishment. The flavor's not that much better, and the punishment's just too bad. Too much. It's too much to handle. Junior Mints. I'm trying to remember the flavor. I feel like these are just Andes, but like a different shape. Slightly different texture. Same flavor. They're gross. They're super gross. Yeah, I think they taste almost exactly like Andes. It's crazy how much I can recall here as far as flavors go. Like, candies I haven't eaten in years. Like, it's probably been over a decade for a Junior Mint for me. But like, I'm pretty sure I know what the flavor tastes like for that. Ring Pops. Ring Pops are bad. They're like worse flavor than Jolly Rancher. They are the same bad stickiness of them. Like, I gotta put them like a lot lower than, they're still poo tier. They're not actually dusty. They're too hip to be dusty, you know? They're like, these are like what the cool kids are wearing, you know, in 2nd grade right now. A little too hip to be dusty, but they're like as bad as these. Flavor's bad. And it's got the same Jolly Rancher problem. I think I gotta put that at the, I feel like the caramel apple pops and the Jolly Ranchers taste about the same, and they both have the Jolly Rancher problem. Yeah, I feel like my heart leaps when I see some Ring Pops. I'm like, damn, that would be so cool. But I think it's my childhood. I think that's you know, a part of my childhood that I just, you know, shut up right away. I'm like, that's bad. That's gonna be bad, because I remember how they taste. If I remember correctly, they're worse flavors than Jolly Ranchers, but have the same stickiness problem. But you know, the gimmick is kind of cool. You know, I don't. Payday is the chocolate that I remembered being like banging, but it just fell a little flat for me. It's peanuts, caramel, right, and like chocolate, but it's like just not quite sweet enough. I'll take it over at Mr. Goodbar. I think it's like the Heath level for me. Heath, Three Musketeers. Like, it just, I don't know, maybe I got a bad Payday, but I remember these being like banging. And it just wasn't that last time. Toblerone is just fine. Nothing special. It's just a milk chocolate. I feel like Hershey's has a better taste. Toblerone has a better texture though. Maybe slightly, but not enough to put it up higher. Yeah, I'm gonna put Toblerone in pretty good. It's just middle of the road chocolate. I've never had a Toblerone and been like, wow, this is amazing, but I've never been like upset when I was eating a Toblerone. I think that's like actually just perfectly mid. Very edible, very passable. I'd be pretty happy as a kid because there's a lot of chocolate, you know. That's quite a bit of chocolate. That's like a full-size candy bar kind of chocolate. And finally, I think this is our final entrance into the sex tier. Peanut butter M&M, or peanut M&Ms, sorry, not peanut butter M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms are probably the candy that I eat most. This is probably my just go-to. If I'm gonna get candy, it's gonna be peanut M&Ms. Man, dude, in college, and when I used to get high a lot, I'd grab like the big family bag of these, and I'd grab like a gallon of milk, and I'd just watch cartoons, and I'd eat that like cereal. But like, you can't pour the milk in first. You gotta like put the M&Ms in, and then like, you know, make the cereal in your mouth. And man, that's so good. It's so bad for you, man. I'd wake up in the middle of the night in such bad pain because of that, but like, it was worth it. Man, like, you don't even need the milk. They're just good on their own. They're just fantastic. You disagree with M&M's peanut M&Ms? Or are you talking to Jenna? Yeah, peanut M&Ms are the sex. Mamba. I can't remember Mambas. It's been a while since I had a Mamba. Mamba Fruit Chews. They kind of like better Laffy Taffy kind of stuff. Like maybe a tier above Laffy Taffies. Does that sound fair? Like better flavors and also just like not as terrible. Not as dusty. Mix a peanut M&M with a brownie M&M and a mouthful of milk. Oh man, that actually sounds pretty great. I think I don't really remember Mamba that well. I haven't eaten these in a while. I'm going to have to get some, but I think it's safe to say they're better than Laffy Taffies. Yeah, I'm going to put those here for now. I'm going to have to try those. I'm going to put that on my need to try list. But like, just like a guesstimate, I feel like it's just a tier better than Laffy Taffies, if I'm remembering correctly. Milk Duds are bad, but they're good. There's like a part of it that's really good. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll actually eat Milk Duds every once in a while. They have the Jolly Rancher problem, but not as bad. It's not as bad as Jolly Ranchers as far as the problem goes. And like, it's a unique candy. It's definitely a workout to get through a box of Milk Duds. Like, you're burning some calories. Your jaw is hurting once you're done with these. Yeah, they taste good but hurt the teeth, and I'm almost willing to take the hurt probably once a year or two. I don't think I can put them higher than trade tier. I'm pretty happy to trade these off, but I'll put them like next to the Butterfinger. I think that seems pretty fair. Milky Way. The Milky Ways are like, they're never what I want them to be. I want a Mars bar. I'll take a Mars bar over a Milky Way and a Three Musketeers every day. They're just worse versions of the Mars bar. But the Mars bar is still just so good. Honestly, that might be a third member in the sex for me. I think it would be. Mars bar would go to the sex. But like, a bad version of the Mars bar is still pretty good. How dare you? Milky Ways are the only candy in the sex tier. Try a Mars bar and tell me I'm wrong. Once you have the Mars bar, like, these two are just so disappointing. Cause like, the Milky Way is too much caramel. It's like and the chocolate's not as, I feel like the chocolate's worse. Maybe it's just the caramel. But like, the Snickers got the nuts. It's good. I feel like the caramel is like too much. It's a little overpowering. It's still pretty good. Like, I will eat a Milky Way. And honestly, at one point, this was my go-to chocolate bar until they started making the Mars bar in America. Now and later, are these dusty? I don't know how old these are. I like, same tier as Jolly Ranchers. Pooh tier, yeah, I couldn't remember how old they were, like if these were actually covered in dust. Like, I was trying to think of the candies like my grandpa was handing out, like those, you ever have those wax bottles filled with like juice from the Depression era? You can taste all the sadness. Like, I didn't know if he also was handing me some now and laters with that, you know? Because, like, this seems like a Depression era candy. Like, you need to ration it, you know, now and later, you know? You can't eat it all at once. Yeah, I'd have to eat these again to really remember, but I don't think they're higher than Pooh tier. Some of the candies that I can't remember are there for a reason. Raisinets are terrible. I like raisins, but not this. This is an abomination. I feel like they're not old enough, but like, old people probably have Raisinets. I'll put them in actually dusty. Skittles are fine. They're better than Sweet Tarts, but not by much. I think like Milk Duds adjacent. How do you feel about Whoppers? Try Maltesers. They're better, but yeah, Whoppers are fine. I feel like the texture for Whoppers is way worse. It's like Maltesers is Whoppers with a better texture. Raisinets are Garbo, yeah. I got some guilty pleasures on here. I mean, Dots is suspiciously high on this list, right? Mike and Ike's is suspiciously high. I'm not gonna say I don't have my bad takes. I know what they are. They're probably the Atomic Fireball, these two, Hot Tamales, Mike and Ike's, and then Dots. I know those are my guilty pleasures. Airheads too. Airheads really deserve to be in poo tier, but no, they're better than Laffy Taffy by a whole tier, but they're a little high on this trade section. Let's just be honest. Are these just more sweet tarts or Smarties? Smarties are. I'm trying to think of the difference between the. I feel like these are actually dusty. I feel like these are the dustier versions of sweet tarts. Am I wrong? They're chalky, and they're flavorless and chalky. Used to sort Smarties by color and then eat them one at a time to make each color have the same number of candies. Starburst. Like, the ceiling for Starburst is pretty good. I feel like the floor is like Tootsie level, flavored Tootsie level. Like, what are the bad flavors? Like, any of the non-original flavors, Starburst actually kind of suck. Except for maybe some of the tropical ones. But if we're just rating the originals, I feel like most of them are good. I feel like red and pink are the best one. I don't eat these anymore, guys. I think I remember wanting the red and pinks and not liking the yellows. And like being okay with the oranges. Am I right on that? Am I remembering that correctly? Either way, I know that like two of them are like pretty solid, and then one of them's mediocre and one of them's just bad. I think Starbursts probably deserves pretty good. Yeah, I think they're better than Mike and Ike's. I don't think they're banging. They're not Swedish Fish or Sour Patch Kids by no means, but they are substantially better than like Skittles. I feel like the yellows are really holding it back for me. I feel like without the yellows, maybe we could bump it up. Sugar Daddy is bad. Sugar Daddy is just bad. I'm trying to think of where on the bad tier this goes. I feel like it's above actually Dusty, and it might actually be kind of like midway in poo tier. I feel like that sounds right. Like probably like above Tootsie Roll, underneath Almond Joy. Almond Joy does deserve to be the top of poo tier. It's like, it's got something good going on. Same thing with Jolly Ranchers and Almond Joy at least have some redeeming factors, but like, not much. I'll eat candy corn because it's like festive, right? But it's actually dusty. Like it's sitting out there open, actually collecting dust for a whole month. Don't tell me that bowl of candy corn it gets taken out quickly. Okay? I'll eat it for the spirit of Halloween. But it's gross. It's got bad texture. It's got bad flavor. Man, it's bad. It is terrible. There's that like burning sensation in your throat, but nothing spicy. That's a sign that it should be bad. You know what I'm talking about? You eat one of these bad boys, and like the juice is like, there's like juice in these things. Whatever that is, it actually burns. Like just a little bit. It's not natural. It's not okay. Yeah. Twix. Good texture or bad I haven't had a Twix in forever. I feel like it's Whopper's texture, Kit Kat texture, right? With a little bit of caramel. And like maybe same quality chocolate. Is that right? Am I right on that? I haven't had a Twix in forever. Twix is sex tier for you? I was thinking pretty good at best. Maybe top of trades. I'll have to try a Twix bar again. But just off of my... like, it's been a long time. I'll have to try a Twix bar again. But just off of like my memory, I think this is as high as I'm willing to go. But I'll lean higher. Like, I probably would have put it at the top of trades or the bottom of pretty good, but I'll lean higher because you guys have been pretty based with your opinions, and I will reevaluate my opinion on that one eventually. I'll go get a Twix next time. It's been a long time since I've had a Warhead. They're bad, but they're an experience. Like, you don't... there's almost like a false sense of good when you eat a Warhead, right? Like, you get past the painful part, and then you're like, this isn't so bad. And then there's like this brain thing that happens that's like, oh man, this is actually kind of good, but I know it's not good. Hard candy, I feel like, just doesn't get to go up that high on the list. I feel like the cap is like right here for hard candy. And these are only like, these are still pretty bad, but they offer an experience. So I think like Warheads probably goes there. Yeah, it is pretty sour. Yeah, everybody should try one. You got to give it a go. You got to do your time. It is a rite of passage. But man, it's not good. It's a hard candy. I think being the rite of passage, being the experience it is, and actually like not ending up too bad at the end of it, I think it's like near the Atomic Fireball and Lemonheads for me. Whoppers are the worst version of a very good candy. They're trades for me. I don't like the texture. Like, the texture is actually really bad for Whoppers. I really like Maltesers. They're not as like, yeah, they don't hurt the teeth as much. They kind of like squish a little bit more. But they have like they have a much richer flavor. If you're gonna be eating chocolate balls, Maltesers is the way. York! Garbage! My God, you should put this on your toothbrush. You won't know the difference. This is eating toothpaste. This is actually worse than Andes and Junior Mint by like a good margin. Because like it's just too much. It's like I literally it's like if I put like half a bottle of toothpaste in my mouth. That's what York feels like to me. You would put them in trades? I think, okay, now that I'm looking, it's probably better than the Pops, the Ring Pops. I'd probably take it over a Blow Pop. I put it at the bottom of the mint stuff, but it's not good. And I think Zero's actually ass. If I remember correctly, Zero's like, this is like a protein bar, right? Am I wrong? Are these zero sugar bars? Maybe I haven't had a zero. I think I'm thinking of something else. What I'm thinking of is against the spirit of Halloween. It's like a protein bar, but I don't think that's what this is. I'm gonna have to try this one. So let me get a list going of things that I need to try. So Zero, Mamba. I don't need to try Now and Laters again. I'm not gonna just subject myself to that. Twix. I'd say I'll probably have to try a Mr. Good bar just to really make sure it's fine. I just want to try a 100-gram bar again. These are so hard to find. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I go down a chocolate aisle, I will actually take a 100-gram bar over peanut M&Ms because like I never see these. You know what I'm saying? Like they're rare. They're not like always there. Like M&Ms, Snickers, all these other candies, I know they're gonna be there. But 100 grams elusive. Yeah, okay, I think those are the three that I need to try. Four. Mr. Good Bar, Twix, Mamba, and Zero to really get this list at 100% accuracy. But yeah, I think this is pretty. I'm pretty happy with this where everything's at. Man, you know the tier is bad when Raisinets is like at near the top of it. You know, maybe I'd actually put Smarties at the top here. Yeah, that's good.